Well, you just heard from DFL House Leader Melissa Hortman, who explained why the Democrats have not been working at the Capitol. Now we have Republican House Leader Lisa Demuth. Thank you so much for coming in from Cold Spring.
Good morning,
We
Esme.
appreciate it.
Good morning.
Let me ask you about the Brad Tapke race, the Democrat who won in Shakopee. He did get the most votes. There was a recount, and then a judge just upheld his win and basically said there's no cause for a special election. He's kind of won 3 times. Shouldn't he be seated?
Right now, Brad Tapke is seated, but the only one that is not seating himself is Brad Tapke by skipping work. But what we really need to focus on is the truth of the matter, that Democrats have 66 members in the House of Representatives. Republicans have 67. The reason is, in Roseville, there is an empty, open seat waiting to be filled because the Democrat that won that seat was not meeting the residency requirements. So on the 27th of December, he decided to resign, something he never had. The courts found that he was not able to take the oath of office. That is the Democrat Curtis Johnson.
Right.
What came through from the courts on the Supreme Court on Friday, breaking news, was that Governor Walz prematurely called for that election on the 28th of January, and that cannot take place.
It was a big win for you. It looks like the special election in that Roseville seat might not happen until mid-March. But I want to go back to the Tapke race. Sure. Will you recognize Representative Brad Tapke?
We know that it is up to the House to determine the eligibility of the members, and so that is something that the House can do. We could vote to continue having him seated or not. Right now, with Democrats staying out of work the entire week, being paid by the taxpayers, not showing up, holding a secret before time swearing in, it's clear that Democrats don't want to work for the people and the taxpayers of Minnesota right now.
It sounds like you would put Brad Tapke up to a vote.
Potentially, that is an option that the House would have, but we're not saying we will or won't do that. What we need is for Democrats to show up to work. They have 66 members, even including Brad Tapke. 66 members, that's the number of election certificates. We have 67. We are fully organized, waiting for them to show up.
Speaker, Leader Hortman just said that the Democratic members should continue to get paid as they are boycotting. I know that you disagree with that, and I know that you have also said that recall elections should be initiated against those members who are not showing up. Well, that's the entire Democratic ream of legislators. It's 66 people.
Yeah.
Are you going to really do that?
You know, that's an option that we would have. Right now, what we know is that Democrats could show up to work. They could have already done that while we continue working this out. I know Leader Hortman is interested in a power sharing agreement. I will consider those decisions and the power sharing absolutely once we are back to a tie. Right now, though, the fact is there is no tie. We have a 1-seat majority, yet they are not coming to work. Constitutionally, yes, we all get paid during this time. Unfortunately, the taxpayers are paying for people that are not working. Now, you will hear them say that they're working in their districts, that this is the only time they have. That is something that happens all interim, absolutely. They should have been doing that work right away. Working for the people is showing up in St. Paul, being sworn in, having committee hearings that are laying the foundation for all the budgeting and everything that needs to take place. That's the work that legislators have right now, in addition to evening meetings and weekend meetings in their districts.
Well, you know, Leader Hortman has offered a proposal that would leave you as House Speaker until the special election in Roseville is settled. Let me just ask you, though, when I talk to people about this, or actually people talk to me about it, people are not happy about this. They are very upset. How do you respond to that?
You know, people are very upset that we have all been voted by our districts to go in and to do the work. And so the fact that we have taxpayer dollars going to pay for people that aren't at work, we now have taxpayer dollars going to fight in the Supreme Court. Just for clarification, which the Supreme Court may not even rule on this, but when we organized with 133 members able to take the oath of office on the first day of session. That was what was in the possession of the chief clerk, were 133 election certificates. A quorum of 133 is 67. So Minnesotans are mad that people aren't at work and that we can't get this figured out.
Well, I think they're confused and frustrated too.
It's
Thank you so much,
complicated.
Leader Demuth, for coming in. We really appreciate it.